Alright, breaking news. Canadian election results continue to pour in the morning after the election. So we have more calls for several ridings I was tracking last night, including the riding of Northumberland Clark. Philip Lawrence, the incumbent from the Conservative Party, has been re-elected. With 32,692 votes and 49.7% of the vote share. His Liberal challenger, John Goheen, finished in second with 29,588 votes and 45% of the vote share. The NDP candidate, Ava Becker, finished in third place with 1,976 votes and 3% of the vote share. In fourth place, Christina Wilson of the Green Party with 596 votes and 0.9% of the vote share. In fifth place, Lisa Bradburn of the People's Party of Canada has received 491 votes and 0.7% of the vote share. In sixth place, the independent candidate Jody Ledgerwood has finished with 263 votes and 0.4% of the vote share. And John Weselis of the Christian Heritage Party has finished in seventh place with 156 votes and 0.2% of the vote share. So this call has came in. I just want to make a correction, actually. It's not the election night anymore, so I'm going to change that to Canada Votes 2025. So that's where things are at in the Bay of Quinte. The Liberal candidate has won with 32,328 votes and 50.4% of the vote share. The Conservative incumbent has lost with only 28,626 votes and 44.6% of the vote share. So that's something to track. Lanark, Frontenac, Leeds, Grenville, Thousand Islands, Rideau Lakes has been won by Michael Barrett, the Conservative incumbent, with 33,141 votes and 50.2% of the vote share. 239 out of 240 polls are reporting from that. If we go to Nepean, Mark Carney has won his riding with 44,980 votes and 63.7% of the vote share in his riding. Carleton. This is a major call. Wait. I just need to get the sound effect geared up just to make it a bit more dramatic. So, Carleton, I can now project, will go to Bruce Fanjoy of the Liberal Party. He has received 42,512 votes and 50.6% of the vote share. The Conservative leader, the leader of the Conservative Party of Canada, which the party finished in second place, and so did he has ran in the past 7 elections and won all of those times. In his 8th time running, he has been unseated. He is the leader of the Conservative Party, so we have no seated Conservative leader now. He has been unseated. He has 38,675 votes and 46% of the vote share. So 265 out of 266 polling stations are now reporting. There's also some mischief going on, I believe, sort of a gimmick with the voting where they will have over 90 candidates running, and it was to make an example sort of out of the electoral system in Canada, where all you need is 100 signatures to get on the ballot in the region, so in the riding. Sudbury has gone to Conservatives. There are still uncalled seats. It's a Liberal lead in the Sault Ste. Marie area, and in the Nipissing area as well, a Liberal lead, but no call. Same with Kitchen. Oh no. Yeah, the sort of Kitchener area has no Kitchener-Conestoga, no projection there. So, but it's a Liberal lead. The Bay of Quinte has gone to the Liberals. I covered that earlier on, just a few minutes ago, but this is for the highlight clip. Northumberland Clerk has gone Conservative. Kelowna, no poll, no projection, because there's just a zero. The Liberals have a 0.3% lead over the Conservative incumbent, and 202 out of 203 polls have reported. But until those special, like it's similar to the absentee system, where they have special ballots if you're out of area or want to write in. Instead of checking a box, you write the specific candidate that's eligible to run's name in to the ballot, I believe. I'm pretty sure that's how I've heard it explained, is that it's similar to an absentee ballot. Nunavut, no projection yet. So, no projection there either. Yukon, we do have a projection. The Liberals have won the Yukon, and the Northwest Territories have also gone to the Liberals. Michelle Ferrari has been unseated by more than a 13-point margin in her home riding of Peterborough. So, that's also happened. So, Jagmeet Singh last night stepped down and drank like water 18 times. He must have had several glasses throughout his 15-minute speech. I don't understand how he drank that much. But he took it like a champ. And there's a good chance that he'll run again, possibly in that area or in another area, but as well he has stepped down. Maxime Bernier still has sort of refused to shut down the Maxime Bernier is still leading the PPC. He finished in 4th place in the Beauce with 3,610 votes and 5.8% of the vote share. 244 out of 245 polling stations are reporting that. So the advanced polls still aren't in for a lot of places, and there's a lot of places without projections yet. And there may not be projections in some of these areas for a while. So this is see, some of these parties now didn't get even any votes at all. So, but all of these parties did get votes. The Canada Future Party, I thought, could have been a bit of a fourth party option sort of in Canada, because there's a bit of hype, not as much with the PPC, but a bit of media attention when they first launched the Canada Future Party, but has only received 3,000 votes, and only less than 0.1% of the popular vote. So Pierre Poilievre has been unseated in his home riding. You know, I thought it was a hoax when they were saying that he was going to lose his home riding, but he actually has lost his home riding. A lot of people were saying that a blue wave was coming. Like, let's see if I can. What is this random stuff? I'm just trying to find this thing. That's not what I wanted at all. Uh, wait. Okay, I think this is the one. Yeah, okay, I thought it was. Why is that ad kind of disturbing? No, it's just about bananas, but it looks kind of disturbing. I'm gonna put my time tracker over that. So for the oh my word. How do I cover it up? How do I cover it up? And let's go to properties. Let's put a nice big background on that. And get that weirdness off my screen. And maybe let's yeah, let's just, I don't know why that's on my screen. I find that to be a weird ad. It's just strange. Okay. So a lot of people were hoping that the Conservatives were just going to have a blowout victory and they were going to go in and get all of these ridings and completely power through and carry through much of that and basically carry all of Ontario except for like some of the London area. So this is like what a lot of people are expecting, and especially before Justin Trudeau stepped down when the Conservatives were over 40% approval rating and the Liberal were over 40% voting intention, and the Liberals were a below 20% approval rating. A lot of people thought that we would have seen a outcome similar to this. So, but that's not what came out of the election here. So, we'll see what happens. We'll see if there's any seats recalled. I actually last night almost recalled my projection of a Liberal government because of just how close and intense the election was. So, like, as well, that's actually really surprised me. With Pierre Poilievre losing his own seat, like I thought that there would probably be like a couple uh, Liberals in Ottawa. I think most people were. So that didn't. None of that happened. There still hasn't been a declared it still hasn't been declared if we will have a liberal minority or a liberal majority. So that's still being tracked. And I'm gonna still be tracking that. Maybe if there's a projection, I will go live again. So yeah, I am live, everybody. It was kind of surreal seeing the election be called again for the Liberals. Yeah, that's actually... So, Michelle Ferrari losing her riding is... I may have read that. That must have been sent a couple minutes ago. But Michelle Ferrari losing her seat is a massive loss for Conservatives in Ontario. But Philip Lawrence has won Northumberland by quite a substantial... not a quite, but a bit of a margin. So, as well, more projection, another projection to show right now. To those who are just tuning in, to those who are just tuning in now, I have another major projection, or not a major projection, but a projection that I've been making throughout last night. And if some of you are just joining in now, I already made it earlier in the stream, but the Bay of Quinte has gone to the Liberals. They have 32,328 votes and 50.4% of the vote share. The Conservative incumbent Ryan Williams finished in second place with 28,626 votes and 44.6% of the vote share. So Conservatives lose riding of Bay of Quinte. So yeah. So yeah, an update out of Peterborough. Peterborough has gone to the Liberals. Emma Harrison has unseated Conservative incumbent Michelle Ferrari. The Jagmeet Singh has lost his home riding of Burnaby Central, if I can find that. Jagmeet Singh finished in 3rd place in his own home riding. He is the leader of the New Democratic Party, the 4th largest party now in the Canadian Parliament. He has also stepped down as NDP leader. So share and post your comments. I'm going to be reading your questions in a few minutes, so I'll be counting that. If you also just tuned in, Pierre Poilievre lost his own seat in Carleton. So one of the biggest losses for the Conservatives overnight is Pierre Poilievre losing his own home riding. So Pierre Poilievre unseated in riding of Carleton. Halliburton Kawartha Lakes has gone to the Conservative incumbent. He won that by pretty much a landslide. There also were some landslide victories in Saskatchewan, like Jeremy Patzer of Swift Current Grasslands Kindersley. He won 32,067 votes, 82.1% of the vote share. So no surprise that the Conservatives carried in that riding in Saskatchewan. In Moose Jaw, Lake Center, Lanigan, the Conservative incumbent there got 32,630 votes and finished in 1st place with 72.1% of the vote share there. So those were some landslides. Northern Ontario now is starting to go towards the Conservatives. Earlier, it started off with an NDP lead, but it has now been flipped to the Conservatives. Sudbury is now the Liberal incumbent in Sudbury won 30,957 votes and 51.7% of the vote share, with 246 out of 247 polls reporting. Bay of Quinte, 223 out of 222 out of 223 polls reported in Bay of Quinte, and 252 out of 254 polls reporting in Northumberland. Clark, the Conservative incumbent. Philip Lawrence has won again his re-election. But lots of big news with this election. Yeah, if the Liberals and the Bloc can combine, if the Conservatives and the Bloc can combine, there's a chance that they will be able to obstruct a Liberal majority. It depends on if the Liberals maintain all of the seats that they're leading in, and if the NDP wins the 2 seats that they're leading in, because the NDP, if they don't win those seats that they're leading in, they will only have 5 seats. So there's also a chance that the Liberals could go down to like 160 and the Conservatives closer to 150, and then the Bloc and the Conservatives likely would be able to form a coalition and oust the Liberal government. But if that doesn't happen, then it will likely be a Liberal government. There's still no call on size there's no call on if it will be a minority or majority government yet, because there's still votes being counted in hundreds of seats. I don't think any seats actually. There may have been a few, like 1 or 2, but I don't think there are any seats actually where they have all of the polling stations reported, like in Skeena, Bulkley Valley, and British Columbia. Only 241 out of 254 polls are reporting in Kelowna, 202 out of 203. So pretty much no ridings actually have all of the polls reporting. In Terra Nova, the peninsulas, that is less than a 0.1% lead that the Liberals have. 269 out of 270 polls reported no call for their Nunavut. 64 out of 66 polls reporting, and the NDP has a 0.7% lead in that riding. So obviously that major breaking news, Pierre Poilievre unseated. Michael Barrett won his re-election. Michael Barrett of the Conservative Party. Did I say Mississippi? Yeah, I was gonna say. The Algonquin, Renfrew, Pembroke area has gone to the Conservatives. Cheryl Gallant of the Conservative Party has won her re-election. She has 36,455 votes, 55.6% of the share in that riding, 261 out, 262 polls reporting. Caribou, Prince George, no major reports from there. So, pretty much, this was likely the best result that was realistic for the Liberals. I thought it was very unlikely that either side would win a majority government. So I don't think we will see a majority government. So, and if the Conservatives and Bloc Québécois unite, they could be able to block the Liberals from forming a majority if they try and unite with the Greens or the NDP. Very close election. Very intense election. This is probably this is an unprecedented election, both in the situation in Canada when it happened and the way it's turned out and how votes were counted and how almost all of the election was called within half an hour. Not half an hour of starting, because seats have already been and polls have been counting and stuff for about an hour, and then for that 9:30 Eastern time and like 8:30. And so the other regions, that poll closure leading to the call of a whole bunch of seats, over 200 seats called at that point, resulting in a Liberal government. No call on scale. So yeah, the Conservatives are at a loss in Bay of Quinte. Hastings, Lennox, and Addington, Tyendinaga, the Conservative incumbent, actually has one re-election with 35. Shelby Cramp-Newen with 35,566 votes and 54.5% of the vote share. 257 out of 258 polls reporting in that district, in that riding, I mean. So, this is not the same as the 2020 U.S. election, because we have results already now. But advanced polls, apparently 1 in 4 eligible voters voted in advanced polling, and the advanced polls aren't counted until later, so the advanced polling could flip some seats. All they need really is a couple, like, maybe like 3 seats that are currently being led by the Liberals to be flipped to Conservative to block a Liberal government from being able to be stable. But as well, there's a chance that with all the panic in Canada and the tariffs, that there may be a bit of unity and solidarity, and they may not call an election. They may team up for Team Canada, one Team Canada approach to the crisis that Canada is currently in. So, as well, I hope that that thumbnail is beautiful. The YouTube video thumbnail.
What did the cops say?
Don't talk to the Jews.
You don't talk.
So yeah, that is a great thumbnail. I'm gonna applaud myself for that election night in Canada thumbnail. So Big Daddy Mark Carney is Prime Minister for another term. Canada. Where's Canada again? Canada has gone to the Liberals. But this wasn't. I was wrong last night when I said that this was a bloodbath for the Conservatives, because they are up more than 20 seats from where they were after the last election, the 2021 election. But it's still not ideal for the Conservatives for them not to have a hold over the government. But the Liberals won. We have to concede. We can't storm Rideau Hall. So we don't need Canada's January 6th. There's not too much happening, but there are people saying that the election could have been. So, one thing with the pencils being used, there is no evidence of the pencils being used for election fraud. Pencils have been used for years. Ezra Levant of Rebel News actually said that he has used pencils for pretty much all of the past elections he's voted in. So there's really not anything of concern with the pencils, except for the fact that people are concerned about it. There's nothing there. The only thing to fear with the pencils is fear itself. So yeah, Pierre lost his own seat. It's kind of sad. So now let's just play with the scenario that Some of the ridings that the Liberals are leading in go back to Conservatives, or that the NDP doesn't get its 7 seats, it only goes down to 5, and the Liberals lose 1 or 2 of the seats that they're leading into the Conservatives. The Bloc Québécois and the Conservatives could then team up to prevent a majority vote. So if the two parties unite, sort of work together, the Conservatives and Bloc Québécois, to do a vote of non-confidence or to put through their own agenda, there's a good chance that that could work out for the parties, for the Conservatives and the Bloc Québécois. But another thing to track is that the Greens and the NDP are not for building a pipeline through Quebec, and a west coast to east coast pipeline, which would have to go through Quebec to get to the east coast. Um, that would likely cause controversy and a clash between the Liberals and the Bloc Québécois, but the Conservatives would likely support it. But the Liberals, or the Bloc Québécois, the NDP, and the Greens would likely be an objection. But the Conservatives and Liberals may unite to vote in favor of putting pipelines through Canada. So I can see this going different ways. But not much has happened. I may just end off the live now and get ready to, leave my house and go to stores. Oh, Jack Doherty. No. Todd Doherty of Caribou, Prince George. Todd Doherty of the Conservative Party, the Conservative incumbent, has won 35,817 votes and 60.3% of the vote share, 259 out of 266 polls reporting. So 7 polls have not reported yet their results. Alright, so that's where we're at. No major new calls really have happened in the past few minutes, so I will actually, though, go see what CBC is saying about the election to see if there's been a minority or majority called. Okay, so no major things have changed. It is still unsure if the Liberals will form a conservative, or sorry, if the Liberals will form a Liberal minority or a Liberal majority government. So we're still, what? Risk of tornado in Northumberland. Should we go out tonight? Okay, so it's alright. I thank you for tuning in. Goodbye. God bless you.